on mobility, stability, and a little bit of strength as well. And we'll look in a little bit more detail on what we started last week in the Qigong move of the archer, which is all about pulling. We've worked on our challenges on pulling. We've worked on our challenges on squatting, on balancing, on pushing. So we're going to our next challenge, which will start in August, will be pulling. So we'll do various different pulling exercises. So start off in your standing position. Got bits all over my mat there. And take your feet about shoulder width apart, a little bit of bend in the knees. This is always, or tends to be always, our starting posture, where we have our feet about shoulder width. Can be a little bit of a turnout, knees just gliding over the toes, a little bit of bend in the knees, and lifting tall through the spine, rotation, knocking, just tapping on the front of the body, just letting the arms relax, the shoulders relax. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. This is loosening the joints, mobilizing the spine, getting the energy flowing, getting the blood flowing. Great for lymphatic drainage. Good to get you moving and mobile. And the great thing about these type of movements is that anybody can do it. So you can just do small movements. And of course, if you've got any pain, if you've got any sharp pain, then you just stop. It's not about forcing, it's not about pushing. It's about easing and mobilizing. And let's take a glance a little bit further behind. So you're just looking behind you. As you're doing this, make sure you keep tall through the spine so that we're not craning the neck or hurting the neck at all. So you're just glancing behind. This is great for your vestibular balance. I used to not do this too much, or say to people, oh, if you feel dizzy, stop doing it. But actually, again, you're in control, but make sure you're comfortable. But it's actually quite good to make yourself feel a little bit dizzy, challenge yourself a little bit, because when we slow it down, you can really become nice and slow. Slow, slow, slow. And imagine that you're just gliding your hands through water. So this is a Qigong flow movement called water waves. So that idea of just pushing the water away gently. And the slower you go, the more you can notice the movement of the air between your fingers, on your skin. And then stop and come to standing. We'll take our feet hip width. Just balance for a moment. Let's take palms out. So we're just opening the chest a little bit here. Connecting to the ground through the feet. So bring your attention to the soles of the feet. Maybe wiggle your toes a little bit. Maybe rock the feet side to side a little bit and just become really aware of your connection to the ground. Balanced and grounded and stable. And then just tune in with the spine. So lengthen the spine, lengthen the neck, and connect to the sky from the crown of the head. So create a lightness in the upper body. So strength into the ground through the lower body, and then a lightness and a lift with the upper body. And then step back out, shoulder width. A little bit more bend in the knees. Let's do our spinal cord breathing. So I'm tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. This again is our mobilization movement to get the spine flexed and then extended. Getting the movement between each of the individual vertebrae of the spine. And here we can coordinate the breath. If this feels comfortable with you, for you, breathing in through the nose as we extend. Breathing in and then breathing out as you curl up into a little ball as we contract. Breathing in and out. Go at your comfortable pace too. But we need to be smooth, effortless, silent with the breath. An easy, smooth, effortless movement with the body. With all of these moves, we're not particularly counting reps, we're actually focusing on how our body feels, the quality of the movement, the quality of the breath, rather than just doing movement for the sake of moving. Breathing in, letting all of that energy into the body. Breathing out. Breathing in. Let's do 2 more. And then come up to standing. Just shake out the shoulders, shake out the hands a little bit. Relax the lower back, relax the upper back. And then take a rest there. Step in again, comfortable standing position. Just tune in with the ground again, tune in, connect to the sky. See if you can feel any tingling sensations, energy moving around, blood flowing around. Drainage, lymphatic drainage as we're moving the body. Next movement, bring your feet about hip width. Let's go straight into some balance practice. So I'm going to mirror you. I'm going to stabilize on my left leg. And I'm going to stand and balance. And then step down. Stand and balance. Step down. Stand and balance. So we have a little bit of a squat down. And then we stand tall. So that support leg is straight, not locked. Squat down a little bit. Extend and balance. Squat down. Extend and balance. The arm that is down on the balance leg, you can just push a little bit into the ground as well. That's quite nice. So just push down a little bit on that arm to the side of the body. Squat down a little bit deeper if that feels comfortable. Push down, connect this elbow to this knee as it falls over. And squat down, stand and balance. Squat down. Now if you watch me from the side, squat down. This support leg is straight. Watch that you're not leaning back or falling forward. So you want to make sure that you've got your crown lifted towards the sky. Let's do a couple more. And then take a rest. Let's go a little bit wider than shoulder width. Do our hip circles. Big hip circles. Legs straight here so that as you circle around you get that hit through the hamstring. Back is in a pretty neutral position as you come back. So again you get that nice stretch through the hamstring. And then we'll go in the other direction. Let's then go wide stance. So again, your comfortable wide stance. Wide and a little bit low if you can go wide and low. Making sure that the knees keep over the feet. So I'm not dropping my knees in. So really working these muscles here, opening up the thigh muscles. So it's like you're sitting on a horse. Same thing with the inner bits of the hip. So this is a tiny movement. So if you imagine you've got a little weight on your tailbone, it's almost like you're drawing a circle with your tailbone. So sacrum circles. Going in one direction. Breathing easy. And then let's change direction, go in the other direction. Notice what's going on in the feet. Make sure you're not clenching the toes. And then stop the movement. Take a rest on your thighs there. You can straighten your legs up and just walk safely back in. You may need a little bit of a shake now of the legs. Give the hip a good shake, ankle a good shake. And then let's stand back out. Let's do our tiger. So now we've got all the hips mobilized. Should feel nice and comfortable to be able to get into our tiger squat position. Hands are nice and clawing through the hands, so we create that tension through the arms. Squatting down. Start off nice and easy. Pushing up. Standing tall at the top. Going down. Don't worry about going too deep. So go to a comfortable depth, whatever works for you. If it's here, that's fantastic. We're just getting that movement through the hips. If you can get a little bit lower, that's fine. None of these movements should be forced. And how you'll know if you're forcing the movement or doing too much with that movement is through the breath. So if we keep our breathing easy and soft, quiet, and effortless almost through the nose. If you feel pain, you will hold the breath or your breath will change. Or if you're struggling with the movement, your breath will change. So if your breath is easy, then you know that the movement, you know that we are getting the benefit from the movement that we're doing. See if we can just go that little bit lower. So just dropping the hips towards the ground and then standing tall, that spine extends. Pushing through the heels, driving up. This is looking good on Zoom. Nobody's out of breath yet. If you get out of breath a little bit, just go low. Don't go as low. Just come to this point. As you come up now, arms cross and then out to the side. Arms cross, out to the side. Stretch the hands. Arms cross. Push through the heels. Let's do 4 more. Everybody's looking really good. Come back up. Step in. There must have been about 20-30 squats there. I'm not sure. I wasn't counting, but that looked great. Give your legs a shake. Give your legs a well-deserved shake. And just stand for a moment. Just let the body come back to balance, the breath settle. And then step out. We'll work on the movement that we looked at the very end of last week's session, which is the archer, the Qigong movement called the archer, which is great if we're looking at pulling, because there's an intention, if you're thinking of pulling a bow and arrow, of pulling. So we don't actually need something physical to pull on to create that tension to pull something away from you. So we'll go through it in a little bit more detail this week. Let's take our feet about a shoulder and a width apart. So it's a shoulder and a half apart. So it's a little bit wider. And you can go as low or as high as you want on this. So you could be with a little bit of a bend in the knee, or you could go a little bit lower if that feels comfortable, because we're going to be strengthening the legs, whatever we're doing with this movement. Let's bring one hand across the other. So if I'm mirroring you, let me see if I can talk this through in the right way around. If I'm mirroring you, your left hand is on front of your right hand. So we've got wrist to wrist, but we've got space between those wrists. I'll show you your left hand first. So the left hand is going to pull the bow back. So you curl the fingers, bring those fingers into the palm, and just rest the thumb on the top. So you've got the bow there to pull. So we'll just do the left hand move first. So you pull back. So there's your pull. Imagine you're pulling a bow back, pulling the arrow back there. As you pull the left hand, the right hand rotates. So this is going to be the arrow. Those two fingers, those fingers curling. This is really tight on my left wrist, but this is great about what it's doing because it's working the wrists as well. So your two fingers up there, those fingers tucked in, and that is the arrow that you're firing. So you're pulling and firing the arrow. And then we circle back round. So we come back to that start position. We do exactly the same. Curl the fingers, rest the thumb, pull, fingers, pull the arrow. So you're getting a nice stretch through that right arm, nice pull through this left arm, strong pull, and then back to center. And now we get that flow. So see if we can get the flow going. So you can look forwards there, and then look towards where you're pulling. Come forwards, and look, stretch, pull. Come forwards. Come forwards. Pull. Have that intention of being an archer, firing. Let's do two more this side. And then come to standing. Just give your legs a little bit of a shake again. What is really fascinating about that, when I was looking, I'm learning this stuff and looking at the details, when I've been running, I tend to hold that thumb like that, and in a lot of running photographs, my thumb is like this. This one I find really challenging to rest the thumb. If I just do it unintentionally, I'm doing this with the thumb up, but actually I really have to think about resting that thumb to pull. And the other thing is when I was a kid, I had the end of this finger chopped off, tiny little bit at the end of that finger chopped off. And it's a real challenge to stretch that finger and to stretch that wrist back. So it's these tiny little things that can make all of the difference, just stretching out those arm lines. Let's have a go on the other side. So again, get into your comfortable position with the legs, because the legs are doing a lot of work. So if we're going that way, this arm is in front, so your right arm is in front, left arm back. So we'll work through the mechanics of it first. Curl the fingers, rest the thumb. You're pulling with this arm, and then you're rotating this arm out and pushing there. And then back to center. Pull, push. Come back to center. Back to center. Back to center. And just breathing in and out through the nose. So it's much easier for me to rest this thumb than the other thumb. It's much easier for me to stretch those front fingers. Nice and slow and smooth. And have that intention in mind of firing the arrow. Pulling and firing the arrow. Let's do a couple more on this side. You'll feel, I can feel my legs and my thighs and my hips working as well. And then back to center. Come back up to standing. Walk the feet together. Shaking out the legs if you need to shake out the legs. Now, just to confuse you even more, let's combine the two. So go back to your shoulder and a half width apart. We'll start off going in that direction. Show you first. So we're here. No, we're not. We're here. We'll go to pull. And then when you get here, open up the arms, bring the hands together. I'm doing it the wrong way around here as well. And then go in the other direction. So pull. And then back. And pull. And then back. And pull. And then back. And pull. And then back. Pull. Back. Pull. Back. Wrong way around there. Pull. Back. Let's do one more each side. And then back to center. Come back up, walk your feet together. Give your body a little bit of a shake out. So when you're going into flows like that, practice the physical stuff first. So just really work on those little things about thumb, and then the position and the stretches and the pull, and then get into the flow. So it's a little bit unflowing at that last one, but it's a nice one just to practice going from side to side as well. It's really good brain training because you're having to think what arm's in front, which one is pulling, which one is stretching out. So it's a really good mental practice as well on that one. Excellent. Let's give the body a bit of a shake. So letting the shoulders relax, tapping the feet into the ground. And then just step the feet slightly turned out, so heels slightly towards each other. We'll push down. When you push down, we come up onto the bubbling spring, onto the ball of the foot. If that feels comfortable for you, so you're pushing down onto the ball of the foot, and then you just drop and let that vibration through the body. So I'll show you from the side. Pushing down, standing tall, and drop. Let that vibration through the body. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out, just let everything go. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's do two more. Breathing in, breathing out. One more. Breathing in, breathing out. And then shake again. Slow it down. Give the hands a little bit of a rub. Give yourself a nice little self-massage down the arms. Lower back, we've done lots of squats, so down the lower back, down the legs, up the inside of the legs, pull down the sky, palms together on the lower abdomen, feet together, and we will finish there. Nice. So practice that little bit of bow and arrow work, the archer work. I'll do a little bit more of that next week. Tomorrow is the Lunch and Learn with Tom Heron, who will be discussing trauma. It's going to be a fascinating session. So if you can, do join that session. If you can't make it live, then you can do register. Then you can make sure you get the playback of the recording. Thank you very much for your time and attention. If I don't see you tomorrow, have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you hopefully on Tuesday for the breathwork. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.